in terms of NCAA, PGA, all the big power equipment shows you see at the fairgrounds, all the conventions that come into the town. Our organization runs that. So at that place, I oversee all the branding, all the marketing, all the advertising, and all the social media that we actually do for the city in regards to travel and tourism. So that's kind of my background. I don't know what else I should share in terms of. That was like a question.
Do you guys have, like, as far as like marketing? Does anybody have any questions as far as marketing that they want to ask anything?
Yeah, right.
Okay, for someone that does not know how to do the marketing aspect, I'm very much an introvert, so the networking, all those things are like not fears, but they're hard for me because I don't know how. Like, I don't know what tools, resources, where to go, none of that. So what would you give the advice to give someone like me?
I would say that the first key to any marketing is, I think Lonnie we talked about her business plans. I think a lot of things that you have to address is I use the equation 5W plus H. So it's basically the 5 W's in the how. So it's like who, what, where, when, why, and how. And you basically go through your entire business plan, whatever you're trying to sell, whatever you're trying to market, and you kind of answer all of those questions and you write those down in kind of bullet point format so you can kind of figure out what direction you're going in and how you get yourself focused. So when you talk about what, it's kind of like, well, what do you offer? But it's also like, what do you bring to the table to somebody else? What is your value that you actually bring to somebody? I think she was talking about earlier about trying to help people. You know, there's a concept out now called utility, which is basically being able to help people through marketing. So a lot of times people view marketing as just, oh, let me sell you, let me sell you, let me sell you. That's not what it's always about. Now people move towards like, how can I help you? Because people look for subject matter experts. And so what you want to be able to do is be able to provide value to somebody, and then the more value you provide to them, then people view you as a resource. And then when they need something that falls into your category, more than likely they'll call you.
So 2014, my projected amount to make would have been in the 6 figures just off of the kits. But unfortunately, I lost the contract because I couldn't produce the way they needed me to. Because not only he had the 4 schools, now he was moving to 6 schools. And now I would have to produce all of that. So the manufacturer that I was dealing with had fronted me a lot of my kits and my product to get me started. But it was growing so fast that I couldn't keep up with it. And on top of that, I was working in the school as an instructor too, as the education leader. So 2014, I just made a decision. That was my corporate job.
People give us the content. They send us pictures of their dog next to their clone, and they're just adorable. So I'm like, we can't even make this stuff up. So that's good, but that's very specific to our industry. Like for all the ladies, we have a little grassroots type organization called the Network of Entrepreneurial Women, NEW. You don't even have to pay for membership. You just go. We meet once a month. We drink wine, and there's a speaker about something.
So in March of 2013, I opened a boutique online. I catered to women sizes 0 to 24. From March 2013 to December of 2013, I brought in almost $200,000 from Facebook. So I didn't have a business plan at that time. Someone told me in my reading, because I'm an information junkie, that you don't need a business plan unless you're asking for money. So I didn't write a business plan. My business plan, I think I started that business plan in like October of 2013. And it wasn't until I was in a salon and my hairstylist said, Ms. Savaskia Pope, they're giving away grant money for the Shawnee area for businesses.
Not the magazine. Like, what would you tell somebody if I just came to you and said, well, I don't really have the money for the magazine and I haven't really built up my content and exposure?